Alright, so here I am on Craftsman's website, and you can see that the price currently is $299, which is superb. I mean, you can't go wrong with $1 a socket, like one of the reviewers said. And on mine, I noticed that the date is July 5th, 2014. On mine, I did not receive the parts inventory sheet, so I had to download it here. Luckily, one of the reviewers has put the link to the parts list, so I'll probably put that in the description too. But shoot, it would have been nice to have that in the box, but luckily they posted a link. So yeah, this price right here is one of the best prices you're going to get. And that, you know, that this is once in a blue moon they lower it this much. I got it for $250 because Sears has a student discount program, and if you show your student ID, then you can get half off of the regular price. So the regular price is $500, so you would get it for half of that. So that'd be $250. But that's only on your first in-store purchase that you can use that 50% off. So I went on ahead and bought as much as I could on my first in-store purchase. One of the reviewers says that they got it for $215. If you scroll down and read the reviews, they said they used a student discount program and got it for $215. So I mean, even here we go, this guy right here, Wanta. But I mean, even at $299, it's a steal. I mean, these are lifetime warranty sockets, so I say jump on it. So okay, in an attempt to organize the socket set, you know, I got a whole bunch of these rails from Harbor Freight, and I mean, I love them. They work perfectly, and they're pretty sturdy, and they're cheap. They're like $1 each. So I'll let you know how many I needed. I got plenty of them. So what they say about these bags, this is a 299 piece. What they say about these bags is true. You know, you get probably maybe 6 of these bags in this box on the 299 piece set, and there's no telling what's in this bag. You probably have one complete set as far as like maybe all of your deep 6-point metric sockets will be in this bag, but then there'll be like just various other sockets mixed in there. So for instance, you know, out of the last 2 bags, I got, you know, all of these sockets that are just, you know, here's 5 from one set, here's 5 from another set, and here's almost a complete set. Actually, this set is pretty close to complete. But it should be right here. So, and then there's another partial set back here which has 6 sockets. Some more deep sockets. It's kind of hard to see in the video. Maybe I'll move them back here. But you know, open this other bag, and it'll be the same thing. So it is. You know, you're gonna have miscellaneous ones out of each bag, and you're gonna have to really keep track of your sockets. So the rails really help, having things not roll around and go missing. And mine did not come with the sheet that shows you exactly what's supposed to be in the box. I had to download that. You can find the link for that. I'll probably put it in the description. Anyway, this is for the 299 piece. Also, these are all double marked. Here's the laser, and there is the stamp. So, and they're all that way. Well, I haven't looked at them all. There might be some with defects, but so far they've all had no defects. Anyhow, so that's how it goes with these bags. There might be one complete set, but then you'll have, you know, 15 sockets left over that are from various other sets. Use these four partial sets that I'm gonna have to use the other bags in order to complete. So what they say about this socket set coming all jumbled together is true. I mean, look at when I open this box, there's even some loose sockets. Some of the bags have opened. It's just a mess. These bags are not organized. And you're really going to need some socket rails. I love these socket rails. They're cheap, they're versatile, they're strong. You can't go wrong with them. You can easily tell if there's a socket missing, and on one rail, all of the sockets do not need to be one drive size. I mean, they're just fantastic. So I'll open a bag and show you what I get. So here I am sometime later, and I'm working on probably, gosh, 8 or 9 different socket sets all at once. So it does get pretty overwhelming, but you know, the socket rails really help, because then you can just take those away and go put them in the toolbox. So just a word of warning before you call Craftsman up and tell them that you got some sockets missing. Look inside of the deeper sockets, because there's small sockets sometimes inside the deeper ones. On my 299 piece socket set, I had one socket that was not laser etched. I had one socket that's rusting already when I just bought it. Maybe I'll get a flashlight or something, or a better angle. And then this socket is just extra, which is it's not laser etched, but it's extra. They did send me one of these that was laser etched. So kind of some weird ones. And then there's one socket that's just plain missing. And those ones, let me get a flashlight. Those ones actually turned out pretty well too. So here, might be able to see without glare, but this one's already rusting. I mean, you can see the rust up in there. That's brand new. So I'm gonna contact them, and if you have problems with any of the stuff, see that you can see the rust pretty good up in there. Try not to blind myself. So this one's already rusting. This was the only one that was like that. All the rest of them are all good. So that's the only problems that I really had with the 299 piece. The reason why I got the 299 piece and not the 308 piece, there was kind of an accident, because I just kind of messed up. But there is something called, if you get the 299 piece, there's something called the 21 piece Drive Tool Accessory Set. And I'll show you that right now. So the reason why I didn't get the 308 piece is because Craftsman has something called the 21 piece Drive Tool Accessory Kit. And that's this. It comes with those 9 extensions. Or how many extensions? Yeah, I think it's 9 extensions that come in a 308 piece. And those 9 extensions, you're like, man, you're losing out on so much if you don't get that 308 piece versus the 299 piece. But those 9 extensions are like the shortest ones Craftsman makes. So they're like
these really short extensions. I think it's these 9. Which is like, I mean, a 2-inch extension. So that adds 1 piece to that 299 piece. If you can get it for the same price, which I could, I still decided, like, why have doubles of stuff, you know? It's just, I'm gonna need to get all these other pieces anyway. So I just got the 299 piece, so that way I wouldn't have doubles of all these little pieces. You know? Because, I mean, one of each of these is enough. If you know, I mean, who's gonna need 2 1-inch extensions? You know, it's just, so these are like the 9 that come with the 308 piece versus the 299 piece. And you know, this is not enough. You're still going to need, you know, the longer ones. I believe this is a 10-inch. You know, don't quote me on that. It's about 10 inches. This one is about 1.5 feet. And this one is, I think, 20 inches. So none of these come in that 308 piece socket set. And then you got a bunch of pieces in here too, which are like, let's see, I'm gonna open it. They're like your 1/2-inch swivel adapter, right? These are what you get. You get those 9 pieces, plus you get all these other things. Here's the 3/8 inch swivel adapter. Then you got a 1/4 inch swivel adapter, and then you got all of your drive adapters. So like, you know, 3/8 to 1/2, and you got, what is this, 1/2 to 3/4, and all of those, right? So I think that's 21 pieces in all. I don't know, here's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So you're going to need these anyway, and you might as well just, I don't know, for me, instead of having doubles of all these, getting the 308 piece, and then getting this 21 piece accessory kit, I just said, just give me the 299 piece and I'll just buy this 21 piece accessory kit.
So these are the shorty extensions. These are the ones that come with the 308 piece socket set. They're also included in the 21 piece, let's see, Drive Tool Accessory Set. And that's where I prefer to get them, because if you get the 308 piece and you get the 21 piece Drive Tool Accessory Set, you're going to end up with doubles of all those little tiny extensions. So here's what you get in addition to those 9 shortest sockets. Notice the ruler in the middle. There's some swivel adapters for each of the drive sizes, and then there's all of these other conversion adapters, and then of course the larger extensions. And they were shipped in a box to me like this, just clanking around inside the box, but you can see there's a hole in the box, so you know, stuff is fixing to escape out of this box. Luckily, you know, I think that Sears would take care of you if you did have that problem, but I mean, it was pretty darn close to just coming right out of that box. So, but I wasn't too worried about it, because you know, you're dealing with Sears, and Sears is not gonna leave you hanging. So this right here, this picture right here, is why I love those Harbor Freight $1 socket rails, because you can put the different size tools on it. You know, you can have your 1/4 inch sockets, 1/2 inch sockets, 3/8 sockets, all on one rail by just changing the clips. Now, if one thing is missing from that rail, I will know immediately, because there will be an empty space in that rail, because the rail is customized to the amount of tools that I have. And you know, if you buy one of those plastic trays, you're going to have holes anyway, because you know, they're never going to match up right. So the socket rails are the way to go. And also, I'll show you another picture here. So this is the picture that I wanted to show you. As you can see the numbers on the sockets. Craftsman has done an excellent job of making sure that the etching is always orientated in the same way relative to the bottom of the socket where you attach it to either a rail or a ratchet or a tray, whatever. That number is always aligned the same way, and it's parallel to the edge of the square that you know where you put the socket in. So anyway, you can immediately tell if something is missing out of your toolbox. So that's why I love those. I love those trays, or those. That's why I don't use trays. That's why I use these socket rails, because you can customize them to exactly how many sockets you have. So that's a beautiful thing. So these are all the sockets in the toolbox. They're all double marked, etched, and stamped, and Craftsman has done a really good job of making sure that those etchings are always orientated to the bottom of the socket in that particular way. As I mentioned earlier, you'll see a picture of it here in a second, because so you can see all the sizes that your sockets have. Now, if something is not on the rail, you will be able to tell immediately because the clip is showing. So wherever that clip is, you know that you have something that's not accounted for and that you need to go find. So it's a lot easier when you have two hands doing this. But you can see the square, and that etching is always kind of parallel to one of those edges. So therefore, you can always put your socket on and see the size that you have, which is really fantastic. I love that, and I love the rails. And some of the rails have more than one size socket on them. As far as drive type, all you do is just interchange clips, and it's great because you can tell you have something missing because the clip is visible. So yeah, I'm all about those rails.
How you doing?